The unbelievable images of the fires that ripped through Los Angeles. As the relentless flames from the Palisades and Eaton fires devastated neighborhoods. Smoldering cars lined the streets after residents were desperately evacuating their homes. Criminals were taking aim, looking to take advantage of those who were desperately getting out of harm's way.
LAPD officers are working around the clock to prevent looting in impacted areas and will identify and apprehend those responsible.
Police say a Ring camera captured several men breaking into a home on a street lined with multi-million-dollar properties. And this arrest, also in the Palisades area, bolt cutters and other burglary tools found inside the vehicle the suspects were driving.
Looting is not just a crime against property, it also takes away any sense of security from evacuated residents, and certainly it's not being tolerated at all.
This man, arrested by sheriff's deputies for impersonating a firefighter in the Palisades evacuation zone. The LA County Sheriff says he was caught burglarizing a home. In the week that fires ravaged the LA area, law enforcement say they arrested close to 100 people in connection with the wildfires, including 10 for burglary. One was allegedly using a watch duty app on his phone to track evacuation zones, and law enforcement is on the lookout for other potential crimes.
We're not just looking for burglars and looters committing crimes on the street, but we're also focused on anybody who's involved in any kind of scam. Whether you're asking for donations for pets or whatever you think you're doing to make money, we're telling you, don't do it.
Joining me now is the Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman. Mr. Hochman, the fires, of course, are consuming Los Angeles County. It has affected everyone in this area, and I think what is so heartbreaking for many of us is these additional crimes that are happening between the looting and the price gouging. How are you handling all of this?
Well, you're absolutely right. The role of the firefighters fighting these fires around the clock, the role of law enforcement that's been out there literally 24 hours a day with an all hands on deck attitude. But there is a second element. There is a criminal element that is looking at this tragedy as an opportunity to profit. And I have said and cast out a warning to the criminals out there that the only question is not if, but when they get arrested, they will be prosecuted and punished to the maximum extent. So I don't want any confusion later that somehow they thought this wasn't a crime or that it will be a slap on the wrist. You know, we've already announced the filing of 10 different charges against looters and arsonists. With the looters, those sentences will range right now, maximum sentences from 6 years to 9 years to 22 years to life in prison. Against the arsonists, 9 years. We're going to be going after price gougers. Those are people who are particularly greedy, and they look at this as a way to profit. And the laws that are on the books say that if you have a hotel or a room or a house to rent, and you had a price before the wildfires, you can increase that price 10%. If you go beyond 10%, you're looking at criminal and civil penalties and, quite candidly, public shaming.
We were all so outraged when we saw a suspect who authorities said was dressed as a firefighter to gain access to some of the evacuation zones. Horrified. Thank goodness this person has been arrested. How do you get justice here?
Well, sadly, it wasn't just one situation. We've actually received reports of multiple situations of people being dressed as firefighters, people dressed as law enforcement, people pretending to be residents, claiming that they live in a particular address when they don't. We even had people pretending to be clergy, trying to get into these evacuation zones. And again, law enforcement is doing a great job. They're arresting them. The DA's office, the LA City Attorney's office, we will prosecute these people, and they will be held maximally accountable for their actions.
Do you even have enough people to follow up on all of these tips and complaints? Just about anyone you talk to will tell you about a price gouging situation.
We are working with the LA City Attorney's office, the Attorney General of the state of California, the U.S. Attorney's office. So amongst the various prosecuting organizations that are looking at this, we have over 1,000 prosecutors that can be available to deal with these situations. We have literally hundreds of investigators from the Sheriff's Department, the LAPD, and local law enforcement that are also looking at these cases. And sadly, these cases are not just focused right now on looting, arson, price gouging. What we're starting to see is people who are engaging in financial scams to take advantage of people in their lowest moments when they've lost everything. We've seen that with fake charitable scams. We're asking people who want to donate money or services, please check out the charity. Make sure it's legitimate. Don't ever give cash. Don't even give Bitcoin. Make sure that when you give your money over, that you can make sure that you verify that the organization receiving it is a real organization that is doing what it says it's going to do. And if anyone pressures you to give money, that is a huge red flag that it is most likely a fake organization.
And then what about these people who are setting fires? They're being tackled by residents. They're walking around with blow torches. You have one person who was arrested who admitted that he enjoyed setting fires, enjoyed the chaos of it. How are we supposed to feel safe like this?
Thankfully, residents are bringing to the attention of law enforcement immediately these situations. We've actually already arrested people not connected, by the way, to the major fires. These are in surrounding cities where people just view this as an opportunity to light stuff on fire. They are looking to go to prison for 9 years for these various types of arson when we prove these cases beyond a reasonable doubt in court.
Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman, thank you so much.
My pleasure.